Decline. Sorry, I do not let the read AIs in. I know we're talking about AI today, but I don't let the note takers in. Sorry. I don't feel like we really need it. I think it's just an automatic thing that comes up for some people. And I apologize, I did not know that there was a Teams thing. We're not on Teams, we're on Zoom today. Let me just we are on Zoom. Teams. I don't know. I gotta fix that system. Technology, man. I think I got it, and then throws me a curveball. Good morning. Everyone's so quiet.
Good morning. Morning.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
Good morning. Jen, you're joining us on your day off?
Yeah, I missed your faces. And these are always on Fridays.
They are always on Fridays, sorry.
They used to be on
Friday.
Thursday. Yeah, Friday.
We get better attendance on Friday. People are happy that Friday is happening. We once did a Monday. That did not work out well. No one's happy on a Monday.
Mondays are tough.
Mondays are tough.
I don't know. Friday's a little tough too because I have things I have to get out by the end of the day, and I'm just
Oh,
like, "Ugh."
got it.
It's okay because after that, I get to work all weekend doing budgets. So I'm excited about that.
Oh
Oh,
no, on the weekend?
Well, it's my own fault. I've been procrastinating.
Oh, eeps.
it is budget season.
I'm waiting for reserve studies though, and that's not helpful because they're not taking too long.
They are really behind this year.
I don't know. It felt like it was worse last year. Maybe not though.
Well, what are you gonna do?
All right, everybody. Well, welcome in. I'm sure people will join us as they realize that there are little things going off. And Tracy, you be careful while you're driving. I see you driving, but thank you for joining us. I'm a mom. I'm very worried about people. So welcome
You're
into
so
our
sweet.
welcome into our Friday coffee break. This is the second to last one of the year. Can you believe it? I mean, it's October. I feel like December is like right around the corner, and I'm kind of freaking out about it. But we owe all this coffee break to CID Consortium with Brenda Lynch, who is here with us today. So thank you so much, Brenda. You will all be getting a $5 Starbucks gift card emailed to you guys later today. So it's a good way to kick off your Friday as well. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Brenda, and we'll get started.
So, just a little bit about CID Consortium, and then we will get started. And I see another read.ai meeting, so it actually leads perfectly into what we're going to talk about this morning. So, CID Consortium, many of you know us. We've been in the industry for a long time. Started out as Haney Accountants Inc. almost 50 years ago now. It's hard to believe that Don Haney and team have been in business that long. It just flips me out, but it's a good thing. So we obviously do full service management for folks, but we also do accounting, and that is our niche as well, especially for folks that we work with in across the state of California. So I'm just going to be really brief. Don't need a whole big thing here. I don't have a formal presentation for today. What I actually wanted to do was have some discussion regarding AI and the impact that it's having on people's workflow. And I'm also laughing, and I think Rachel left it up. It's the read.ai meeting. So somebody's taking notes and not actually attending the meeting, which is fine. So, but then that raises the larger question of what exactly is the read AI recording? Is it recording the information accurately? And how's that information ultimately going to be shared? And do we want it to be shared? So when I think AI, I like technology, so please don't get me wrong there. I think it's a really cool thing and it helps us out quite a bit. One of the things that we're seeing though is the implementation of things like Stan AI. Zoom obviously has its own AI companion. Um, Microsoft 365 has Copilot. The front runner out there originally was ChatGPT. And then again, thinking about the privacy issues behind that and anything else. So for CID Consortium, I know that we have not formally adopted the use of AI in terms of client workflows. We have some things that we've internalized, such as the Zoom AI companion, although I won't say that we're consistently doing it, mostly for the reason I just cited. I tried to do it for a meeting and I did it as a test run, and it summarized what I was saying, but it summarized it inaccurately, didn't give me the opportunity to correct it before it went out to folks. And I'm sitting there going, oh, I look like an idiot. So, I'm a little hesitant, and there's things that we need to probably back up, and I probably need to learn some more about how to use the tools that are available to us so that that doesn't happen. So, with that being said, are any of you using AI tools, whether again it's for your own workflow internally or to assist your clients?
No,
No? Okay.
we are not at Common Interest.
Okay.
We don't use it either. I use it in my personal life. Like I ask ChatGPT questions. But other than that, we don't use it in the office at all.
Okay. All right.
But people are too old to use it.
I'm
And
sorry.
The community here is too old to use it all.
Okay.
Or people who don't even have an email or a cell phone. They still have rotary phones on their wall.
and I'm not familiar with a lot of it. Like I don't know what that AI thing was. I know ChatGPT and that's it. I've heard of Stan, I've heard of Copilot. I've never even touched them. So it's just not something I'm super interested in, but I know it's here. So
So I started with ChatGPT and helping me revamp my correspondence. I liked to write to begin with, so initially it was just fun. I wanted to see what it would do to my communications and how off was I really. And most of the time, not. But I also recognize that my writing style is very blunt and to the point. So I used ChatGPT initially, don't do it so much anymore, to help me identify what's the tone that's going out to the potential reader. And then switch from ChatGPT to the Microsoft Copilot. And the reason I did that is ChatGPT is global, which means anything that you're putting in stays out to the world for other people to use as a resource, which good news, bad news. I like to see what other people are doing. Do I want my whole world out to the universe? Not necessarily. Where Copilot on the 365 platform takes your internal information and keeps it internal. So the correspondence that I may be preparing now is coming from things within my own organization. So it's looking at our policies and procedures. It may be looking at things in terms of the Davis-Sterling Act when I'm writing some things. So, but that stays then within my own organization. It doesn't get out to the world until I'm ready to share it with somebody. So those are little nuances that you're not aware of necessarily when you first start to use that type of artificial intelligence. And I'm not sure. I find it helpful for that. And again, I still like to play with it. And even today, in preparing for today, I just typed in discussion questions, integrating AI and workflow and client support to see what it would come up with in terms of helping with dialogue in getting us to have a conversation, because it is difficult to embrace this topic, and especially if we're not using the tools that are available. Again, I know for me personally, I do like to use it, but not for all things. And you have to think about, okay, does what just came back to me make sense? And I think a lot of people are using the information that comes back without reading it and go, okay, that's good enough. Okay, was it factual? Does it sound like something I would say to somebody? And where do I need to tweak it? It's much like when we started to put, communications together, just even written for our PowerPoint presentations. It's you really have to go do the research and then think about how is that going to present to someone else. Um, what would it take, or what do I want to say here? Um, is there interest from this group in terms of educating yourself about the benefits and limitations of AI? So that's number one. Obviously, you guys are here, so there must be some interest.
I'm interested in learning about it only because I know it's here to stay and I know it's only going to get more advanced and I don't want to be left behind. I'm not interested in incorporating it into the workplace simply because I like the more personal approach.
Mhm.
And I like that when I communicate out to my clients that it's me communicating to them, not something that I've had written. And I find that if I don't write it, I don't retain it as well. Um, so you're sending
That's a
out a
good
lot of
point.
stuff and then not really remembering exactly what you sent out. So I'm not interested in using it in the workplace, but I want to know about it because I don't want to be left behind on knowledge. That
Fair
makes sense.
enough.
Same with
Tracy,
me.
okay, Lorena, sorry.
Oh, sorry. Same with me. I feel like it's something that a lot of people are using. I don't like it for the same reasons because I like to write my own stuff. I like to know what I wrote and what gets sent out. And um, I want to make sure that, whether it's homeowners or board members, they know my style of writing. But I think that there's a lot of, board members, homeowners out there using it, and sometimes the information that they're pulling is not the most accurate. So I would like to know, whatever we can about it.
Okay, fair enough.
And I'm
Also,
worried about the confidentiality and some of these things that if it's staying in the world and maybe it wasn't corrected before you guys fixed it, like how do we get that back out? It's like that came from you. It's like, but we didn't have time to fix it. You know what I mean? So that's a lot of misinformation just out there.
And I think that's a learning curve. And Tracy, I'll come back to you in just a second. I think that's a learning curve for all of us is how is that information being published? And like for me, like I said, with the use of the recording of information and then the summary feature in like the Zoom AI companion and those kinds of things, how do I pull that back? And so that was my fault. And I need to actually go back in because I was just playing with it not too long ago again and figure out how do we make that work? And how do I pull something back and correct it? Or am I just going out and just saying, you know what? We used this, we tested it. Here's where we see that it didn't correctly capture information. And here it is being restated. So, which is time consuming to do that. Obviously, we'll do that if it goes out wrong. But the good news is mine, I'm just playing and I've got my little test group of people that I send stuff to so that they have an opportunity to respond and go, this is what I think you meant. And I'm looking at it going, oh, I didn't say that at all, but that's okay. So now I need to learn how to fix it. And there's a lot of training resources that I'm starting to notice, even in the last maybe 10 to 15 days. Everything from why use ChatGPT versus Copilot or the other way around? How do I use it for my Excel documentation? How do I use it for creating presentations? And then something I got hit with the other day, just personal, this wasn't a work one, but using AI to generate a layout of space. So is that something that can help us similar to what CAD was in the early days on computers to create a workspace layout, helping somebody with their architectural applications? I don't know, but it's stuff that when I drive, like Tracy does, I think about. And so now it makes me want to go back and go, okay, how would that work? And do I want to utilize that? The chatbot features that we see out there now too, the banks have been using those forever. Now, as the end user, sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I really truly do want to talk to a person, and I think that that remains important to have that availability. And one of the things when I'm out and about is high touch, high tech. It's not either or anymore. You have to be able to utilize both in the workplace because we are moving so fast in today's world. And how do we provide assistance to somebody? And we do have ways that, or multiple learners, or multiple ways we take in information. Some people they don't want to talk to any of us. For a while it was my coworker next to me, and I'm remote now, so it doesn't work as well. But when I was in the office, would email me, and I'm like, "Hey, you're right around the corner. Can you like either stand up and come around, or just yell over the wall? I don't really care which way you do it, but let's have that conversation." So I think in today's world, it's going to still be more and more important to go, okay, we're utilizing these tools, but third time out, maybe we need to have that phone conversation. But where I was going, and I got sidetracked here, was with the chat bots. I think there are some uses for that. And it's programming, maybe much like the Stan AI, if you take a look online, and the Vantica and some of those other tools, it's where do I find my governing documents? Okay, I'm fine with telling the system, you can find your documents here, whether it's your owner portal or whatever it is that you're using it for. How do I find my monthly, quarterly, annual assessment? So, but again, it takes somebody to program that into the system. But I think once it's done, it does end up being a time saver for folks as well. Okay, Tracy, before we get really, really sidetracked, I know you wanted to say something.
Oh no, I was just going to mention because you guys were talking about like accuracy. So we did have a cam who asked ChatGPT to help him find information in governing documents and had them like, I guess they were like, it was screening the governing documents and the questions he was asking. They couldn't find it, so they made something up. It literally made something up. It couldn't answer the question. It couldn't find the answer, so it just made an answer up. It was really kind of, yeah. The board was
And
like, that's not in our governing documents. Like, where did you get that information? And he said, well, I use this tool to, you know, try to find it. And since it couldn't find it, it made something up for them.
and that's where it becomes critical, and this I'm seeing more and more. People still have to use critical thinking skills and good judgment. So, and that's where you have to go back and go, does this make sense? Because right now it's still in its infancy. It's not going to be accurate in all regards. So you
Right.
have to step back and ask the question, does this make sense? So, hi, Miss Loretta. Thank you for joining. And
Along the lines of what Tracy said, and then this was personal, but I put a photo of my dog in ChatGPT and said, draw this in pencil. And it drew it in pencil originally, but then I said, remove the background because there was something in the background I didn't want. I'm like, I just want the dog. So it redrew it for me, but it was no longer my dog. And I know that because I know my dog. So I said that. I said, that's not my dog. And it came right back and said, you're right. This was a standard photo that was pulled off of the internet of, this type of dog. And I'm like, I wanted you to draw my dog. So, but I mean, immediately when I called it on it, it came back and said, you're right. And I've noticed a little bit of like people pleasing in Chat GPT. Like if I call it on something and immediately like it will completely change course and completely change its opinion to go the direction I want it to go. And I've kind of done that after that thing happened with the picture on purpose. I would start having conversations with chat and then like argue with it, and then it would completely change its mind and find information to back up what I was saying. So you can almost always make it agree with you. It's interesting that it's so, I guess people pleasing is the best way to describe that. I don't know if anybody else has come across that.
um, again, I question everything when I do it. So that I haven't seen, but that makes sense. And sadly funny that it happened, but glad that you're able to catch it. And but what it did for you is make you think, I have to back up and I have to ask the question, does the information presented make sense? So, and that's where it's a tool and not an end all be all. much like we have other tools in our kit. So, um, yeah, you just really have to be cognizant of that.
Yeah, but it's
So,
scary too because someone goes on looking for information and they don't find the information they want. And you can pretty much convince the AI to give you the information that you want and make you correct. So that's a little bit scary as well, that you can just, try it. Go on and push back and it will completely change its tune. Sometimes it takes a couple of times. Oh, you're right. Well, let's approach it from this way. And then it just will completely flip until it tells you exactly what you want to hear. And so that's scary to me because I mean, it should be helpful, but not if you can just make it say what you want.
no, and that's fair. And I
Yeah.
appreciate that. Anybody else using, I know I asked this earlier, but even personal. So you see some of the things that uh, as individuals that we're using the AI for. So I use it in my personal life as well. Um, just starting to look and see what are the features and functionality that we can use it in the workplace for. And I don't know, Loretta, I think we really have not embraced technology to that level in our own organization. Obviously, we've got technology that we work with, but in terms of the artificial intelligence, I think we're just starting to use more of the co-pilot features.
A lot of our team members use it. And I mean, a couple of them you could tell they definitely had help writing emails, which is good, especially if they're going outside the company. But not, I embarrassed to say, I haven't used it much at all. But
And I don't think it's embarrassing to say that. I think as we were talking earlier, you still need to have that personal connection with people. And I think it was Lorena that said, I want people to know that it's coming from me. So everybody has their own writing style. And I get that at some point AI will be able to mimic that, but it's not there yet. It's still in its infancy, and we still have a lot to learn and to teach AI. And even as Tracy indicated, it's coming back to don't be I guess you said people pleaser, for lack of a better way to do that. Um, you're asking a question because obviously you do want an answer, but you don't want it to come back to your original premise or what you wanted to hear unless that was really accurate. And we do test things that way to see, but
Yeah,
any other,
I have
yeah, go ahead.
some. So I know I don't work like actively in the industry, so I apologize for my comments. But um in my personal life, sometimes I've used it to be like, okay, I want 5 healthy dinners. Like, I want a budget of $100. Here are the stores that are locally to me. I want the recipes and I want the grocery list. And so it's good for that. And I have like tried its recipes and stuff, and it's pretty good. My concern, or and then in the association industry where we're seeing it a lot is with presentation submissions. So for like educational programs, we just vetted one for a big conference that's coming up in April, and we're seeing a ton of, you can tell that somebody went to ChatGPT and went, I want to talk about this. I need a big paragraph, learner takeaways, and a structure of how I'm going to do this presentation. You can tell that they just copy and pasted it into the submission, and because it reads like that. So that's kind of interesting. And I think we are starting to clock it more, like we can see it, which is unfair because a lot of people say the M dash is Chat GPT, but like a lot of writing has the M dash. Um, so it's a little unfair there. But my concern with Chat GPT, because I do see it talking the way I talk, right? Like so when I ask it something, it will come back in my tone, which is very like relaxed. In the beginning, it wasn't that way, and then as it started learning how I talked, it does that. I have two main concerns with ChatGPT. One is it killing our ability to do our own research, right? Because like if you're going into ChatGPT to ask a question, like you're not going on like Google, right? Because originally it was books, and now it's Google to like look for an answer and to find vetted resources, right? Um, And then my other thing is these read AI things for the meetings, if you're using them in association meetings or any type of like business type meeting, at what point are these ones that you can't edit before they go out to everybody or they got done? Um, are these something that could be used, in litigation? Like, does it count as like a non-biased source? Like, if you're using it, would be my concern.
That's a great question. Do we have an attorney online?
I don't think we do today, but
No,
no,
no, no. It's all homeowner or managers.
And Michael's a homeowner leader. Hi,
Yeah.
Michael.
And Sridhar.
And Sridhar. Sorry, Sridhar. I don't have my camera thing.
so it's like what I guess over the last 10, 15 years, we don't record the board meetings for that very reason. Because things get taken out of context. So you want information to be what was the action item, action taken, and move it forward. You don't want all of the dialogue that's in there because it can be available for litigation purposes. So it's a recorded document and it's not necessarily covered under attorney-client privilege when it's a board meeting or any other type of meeting that's out there. So that would be a good question for when's the next Ask the Attorney?
It's actually in November. That was a great
I
plug for
thought.
me. Thank you. November 20th is our annual legal update at the Hilton Sacramento Arden West. We are doing the homeowner leader coffee break right before it at 10 a.m. We're gonna have Louis come in, and it's gonna be more structured this year. We received some feedback that they didn't like that it was just like open conversation, so we'll have some more structured communication happening during that. But yes, they asked the attorney legal update November 20th. We got a lot of legal this year for HOAs,
Yes, we
for
did.
unfortunately for us.
So the thing that I wanted people to walk away with from today's conversation is that the tools are coming. There's no doubt about it. And it's going to either hit us in the face or we need to be prepared. And by that I mean it's asking questions, it's talking with your colleagues about what are my concerns, or just simply saying, I have no clue what this is. I don't even know what the initials AI stand for, and that's okay. At least you are asking the questions and then thinking about, okay, how do I softly ramp into this so that it's not scary to me as an individual and the person that's putting the information out there, let alone the homeowner that may be the one that's calling in and gets Stan AI, who answers the question, or how are we handling, and I think it was maybe Nico that said that their association doesn't even use computers or have cell phone access. So I think that's slowly fading out, that more and more people are using those, but we still have a large population that doesn't want to be connected electronically. So how do we um, continue with low tech, high tech um, uh, processes? So it's those things that I wanted people to think about today in terms of what does that mean to me as an organization tomorrow? I'm sorry, Teresa.
No, I'm sorry. My
Oh,
fault.
I thought you were going to say something. Okay. So that was the purpose of today. It was to get us thinking. It wasn't necessarily to have an answer to anything. But I know that, and Loretta, hang on just a second. I just knew that it was, bothering is not quite the right word, but that's the word I'm going to use, I guess, bothering me in terms of how do we move into that day and age and ensure that it's accurate and factual information that's being provided to people, and then how do we use these tools and still have critical thinking that's going on behind it when we're using it? So that's the stuff I drive with, and I sleep with that stuff too sometimes and go, oh my God, what am I going to do with this? So, and how do we best use it? And especially for the HOA industry, which does lag sometimes in technology. Not as bad as some of the healthcare organizations out there, but hey, we're right there. So I don't know. So that was my thought for bringing this forward. So again, it wasn't necessarily to say I have an answer to, because I don't. It was more about what are those worries? What are those things that we need to think about moving forward, and kind of share some feedback, and maybe talk about it again at another time. Now that we're kind of getting hit with this stuff and the training things are coming out, and I know even my prior world was human resources, so I'm getting a lot of stuff via my HR sources too, in addition to our own industry putting things out there. And I think again, the promoters of Stan AI have done a pretty good job. Vantica's out there doing stuff too. And oops, I lost Loretta, so she must have had to go. So those are just some things to think about, and how are we going to use them.
Thank you, Brenda. This was great. I think this
Okay.
was a good discussion. I think what I might do is ask you to be one of the table leaders for that coffee break that's in November. So you'll be hearing from me. And maybe we'll have like a table on AI and have some discussions like in person, which I think could be good.
So I think we just had a message also that yep, needs to be absorbed with a pinch of salt. I agree, since we are still very early in the tech. A lot of validations are missing, but we should be moving into this direction of adopting AI into HOA management. Since homeowners are more adept at using new tech, and when management companies use it, homeowners feel that it will make their life better. So yeah, I would agree with
Good call,
that.
Shredhar.
Mhm. So, and then I think Larry added, Reed provides AI generated meeting summaries to make meetings more effective and efficient. So, okay.
Yep, nope, that's just the AI automatic comment that
That's you,
comes in.
Rachel. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. All
All
right.
right.
Well, thank you guys so much. We appreciate your time today. I hope everyone has a good
Most
Friday.
definitely.
Thank you, Brenda, so much. This was a great discussion.
Thanks. Have a
Yep.
good one, you guys.
Bye, guys. Look out for that
Bye.
coffee card in the emails. It's not spam. It's coming from
Thank
me.
you. Bye.
Bye, guys. Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you.